These are the Dragonets of Destiny, and this is Morosir. Morosir is very fat and ugly, and after years of being stuffed under a rock, Morosir decides to check on the Dragonets, like a father who left, only to come see if his children are successful, so he can be seen as the best dad ever. Morosir notices Glory and gets angry because Glory is not fat and ugly. Morosir tells the Guardians to kill Glory to be the prettiest again, and because Morosir can't do anything himself since he's fat and ugly. After eavesdropping, Clay finally realizes him and his friends have to escape, so Clay dips. Clay swims through the water tunnel that Tsunami specifically didn't tell Sunny about. Little did Clay know Tsunami followed him only to scare the living hell out of him and to give Clay shit for abandoning them. She also brags about how much faster she is than him. Tsunami and Clay are flabbergasted after finding out how living under a rock sucked ass. The only thing Clay could think of is mud, so he dipped again to go look for some. While Clay was swimming in mud, a big grumpy Skywing spawned. Somehow, they didn't know who the overdressed Skywing was because they didn't have Starflight to tell them everything. The grumpy Skywing finally had to tell them that she's a boss bitch and her name is Queen Scarlet. Tsunami got mad because she's the ultimate boss bitch, so Tsunami stabbed Queen Scarlet in the tail like a true boss bitch. They flew away while Queen Scarlet was having a temper tantrum. Fortunately, Sunny and Glory lit Starflight on fire so the Dragonets could find their way back to the cave, but it also led the angry queen to their home. If Dune was your favorite character at this point, then say goodbye to that, because Dune fucking dies as soon as the Skywing Queen entered. Kestrel finally walks in, sees Dune, and completely ignores it. Scarlet is happy now because she saw Kestrel, and Kestrel looks old and is not as pretty as Scarlet, but she needed Glory. Glory will make her kingdom look scrumptious. Scarlet steals the Dragonets and Kestrel spawns them at her arena where Scarlet can laugh her ass off watching them die. Since Queen Scarlet likes the Hunger Games, she made stands for her prisoners to stay, and set up Glory on a tree where Princess Byrne almost loses her ally by making an idiotic comment. While that goes on, Clay meets a psychopath that is smoking hot. Clay found out that psychopath's name is Peril, but Clay doesn't understand that Peril is a psychopath. Peril asserts her dominance to Clay by murdering a random Sandwing that I was too lazy to draw, so I used Dune instead. Peril is now leveled up as the scariest character in-game. The next day, Peril wasn't invited to a party and had to eat shit instead. Peril decided to eavesdrop with Clay. Clay and Peril noticed that Kestrel was actually Peril's mom, making Peril want a new mom so bad she stood up for Kestrel. That pissed Queen Scarlet off, so to show Peril who's boss, she dropped an old smelly dragon who couldn't fly from super high up. That turned out to be Peril's only friend. That dragon was probably a pedophile anyway. Starflight and Tsunami were sent to the arena, and to make even more angry, they hugged. Later, Clay was sent to the arena with the psychopath, and since Peril felt friend-zoned, she thought it would be smart to attack her crush. Oh, and also earlier, Tsunami killed the dried-out fish, but whatever, not important. Starflight got stolen by Morosir and killed a bunch of Icewings on his way out. Morosir was probably on his period. Finally, Glory had enough and spat at the queen. Turns out Glory had magical deathbit that she could have used earlier, but didn't. The Dragonets of Destiny dip out of there and forget about Sunny, so they rescued her and Kestrel. Kestrel tells the Dragonets where they come from, but doesn't tell Glory to keep Morosir's reputation. Tsunami is a seeming princess. Clay came from a bunch of low-life assholes. Sunny was found in the middle of nowhere. Clay knew the lowlives were close, so he flew to them. Turns out Clay's mom sucked ass, but at least he had siblings that I was too lazy to draw. Meanwhile, Kestrel gets literally stabbed through the heart by Princess Blister and her apparent very sharp tail that could penetrate through scales. The end. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did because it was just really exciting and I liked drawing the characters to make them look all derpy. So, like for part 2.